Once upon a time, the British pound, the currency of the United Kingdom, was very strong currency. Actually, you would get $4 per £1 British pound, and you would have to give only around 15 pounds per 1 ounce of gold. Just to purchase 1 ounce of gold, one gold coin, you would have to pay back to days only 50 British quid, 15 British pounds only. So what is happening now? Is the British pound still a good currency? Is it a strong currency? As there are many countries that hold the British pound as its the currency that is backing their own currency. It is in other words, it is kept like a reserve currency, and there are many countries that still believe that the British pound is strong enough, so they have a lot of British pound. Is it actually a good move, or it is the worst move that you can make, or it is just an average move and the British pound is no better, no worse than, let's say, euro or Swiss franc or Japanese yen or Chinese yuan or American dollar, Australian dollar, Canadian dollar? We are going to try to find out what is happening with the British pound. Well, first of all, we've got this chart to euro. This is the euro, GBP euro actually. And on this chart, we can see the 1 British pound is 1.18 euro. So €1 and 18 cents. But just a while ago, look, many times it happened in 2022 that euro was so strong that £1 was only €1 and 7 cents. So actually, taking into account, adding or actually taking out the spread, the commission, then you would get only €1 per £1. So if you wanted to exchange 1,000 British pounds on holiday in sunny Spain, or if you went to sunny Croatia, then you would get only €1,000 if you were lucky. The same happened in 2020. Even you would get even less, as the British pound got so weak that the exchange was 1.05. You know, the commission is sometimes 0.5, 5 cents, 7 cents, 10 cents. It depends where you are exchanging your money. What is the exchange rate? So it was 1-to-1 in 2020. It was also almost 1-to-1 in 2019, and it was almost 1-to-1 in 2017, and it was 1-to-1 in 2016, and it was exactly 1-to-1 in 2008. So we've got this history. This marks these points where British pound actually was 1-to-1 to the euro currency. I remind you that euro is the currency of the eurozone in the European Union. So countries such as France, Germany, Italy, Belgium, Netherlands, they use the euro currency. Euro currency has its central bank in Frankfurt, and it's called ECB, European Central Bank. So is the currency of Great Britain with the bank based in London called BOE, Bank of England? Well, maybe it is good exchange rate 1-to-1. Maybe before you would get only 50 cents per £1. Well, we are going to try to find out the truth. This is monthly chart. And this chart shows us the rates since we can see since 2000 since where is the date? 87th. So this chart is almost 40 years. 40 years. Actually, they didn't use euro that time a lot. It was kind of currency that were used just between, like, behind the doors. But then it happened, and the currency is used widely, and the euro is the second biggest currency after the dollar. And we can see that actually on this chart clearly we can see that in 2000 1 pound was astonishing 1.7 euro. That was 1.7 euro. And if you take the candlestick, 1.76. Can you imagine that just 25 years ago, actually, for many people, for young people who are 20 or 25, they don't remember because they were born that time. But for people that are 40, 50, it's like, well, just yesterday. Well, yeah, that's a sad story. That was yesterday, quarter century, 25 years ago. But it was like it was. On May 2000, the British pound reached 1.76. 1.7. So you would get almost 180 euros for 100 pounds. So if you had 1,000 pounds, you would get 1,800 euros. It was a lot. It was a lot. It was a golden age for people who had their earnings in British pounds. Because just a few years ago, before that, as we can see, like in 95th, the British pound was again 1.18 like today, and then it went up so strongly to 1.8. Okay, we can see that it was actually a short period of time. It was only a short period of time when British pound was really strong, so strong to euro. You see, from 2000. Well, it was strong also, like if we say in 2007, as it was 1.5 euro per 1 pound, 1.50 cents, 1 euro 50 cents, and but that wasn't true. But the strong currency was only between 99, November 99. And March 2003, and then it went down to 1.5, 1.4, 1.3. Okay, so the great time for British people was between 99 and 2003. It was a great time actually for British people who actually remember this time. If you had earnings around 2k per month to the hand, to the pocket, then you would have 3,000, or well, you would get then 3.5k in euro. You would have a good holiday every 2-3 months if you were British. But that was just a short period of time, as the British pound was pumped that time. Look, here in this period, British pound was oscillating in 125. Okay, and here he was on the top, and it was you see 180, 170, 160, 75, so 160. Okay, and after 2007 it went down, and now it is like here, almost 1-to-1. So is pound strong today? Well, it is very weak compared to its record high, and considering that the pound was for many years more than 1.5 euro, or 1.6, 1.7, 1.8, and since between 97 and 2007, there was 10 years when the British pound was around 1.4, 1.5, 1.6, 1.7, 2 until 1.8, and then went down to 1.4, 1.5. For almost 10 years, the British pound was quite strong. But then the collapse came, and British pound never recovered for a longer time. Just here in 2015, during this Brexit turmoil, now it is quite weak. but it is stronger than on those points when it reached almost 1 to 1. Okay, so actually pound is on its lowest level, but maybe it is going up. Well, as we can see on this chart, it is not going up. And the second point that we must understand comparing British pound to euro is that euro, look, this is interest rate on British on interest rates around the world, and euro has, you see here, euro area interest rate is 2.65 euro area, 2.65. Where is the British pound? So it is a quite low interest rate. It's not very low, but it's quite low. But where is the British pound? There is no British pound around 3%. There is no British pound more than 3%. There is no British pound 4%. Oh, we've got United Kingdom 4.5. This is high interest rate. So why the British pound is not skyrocketing against the euro if the euro has very low interest rate on savings? That means, well, British pound is very weak because they've got almost 100% higher interest rate than euro. In euro, you've got 2.6, there you've got 4.5. Actually, in euro, you've got 2.5, there you've got 4.5. And it is almost twice as high as in Eurozone. So, well, there are those mechanism that says this theoretical formula saying that if the currency is okay, if the economy is okay, if the business is as usual going, if something bad is not happening that people don't know about it, then the high interest rate supposed to kick off the currency with the price up. Okay, the worth of the currency should go up against other currency that is in the same situation but with the lower interest rate. But it is not happening to the British pound. Actually, it is higher than 1 now, but it is only 1.8. I'm sorry, 1.18. So is the British pound really strong? No, it is very weak, as high interest rate didn't kick enough the power of the pound, and the pound is still weak with the high interest rate. And on the top of that, the inflation rate is also quite high in the United Kingdom. You see on the right, we've got this inflation rates. We can find out, look, we can find out that we can in Switzerland the inflation is only 0.3, but they've got interest rate 0.5. In Liechtenstein 0.3 only. In Finland there is euro actually, so the Finland has very low interest rate, and Finland has a very low inflation, 0.5. 0.5. It's euro. Where is another euro country? Finland. We are looking for euro country. France. Look at this. Look at this, people. France 0.8. Oui, si. Français 0.8. Very low interest rate, very cheap mortgages, very cheap money, and very low interest rate. Very good. So you see, it is problematic for the British pound. As the British pound interest rate is high, inflation is in France, in Eurozone, very low, but the inflation in United Kingdom is much higher, because I know what is the inflation, but we will go to it, because I already remember these inflations. And look at this, Bermuda, Costa Rica, Peru, Sweden. Sweden doesn't have euro. They've got this Swedish crown, which actually interest rate is 2.2, as I remember, 2.2. Very low, 2.2 or 2, it doesn't matter. Well, it matters, but not a lot for the purpose of this movie. Cyprus 1.59, also eurozone. Luxembourg 1.7, very rich. Ireland 1.8 inflation, very rich island, eurozone, so low interest rate, low inflation. Portugal 1.9, well, low interest rate, low inflation. Slovenia 2, so low interest rate, low inflation, as Slovenia actually belongs to the eurozone, of course. Malta, they've got also euro 2. In Italy 2% only, 2%, and then the low inflation, low interest rate. And Denmark, they have inflation too, but they've got Danish crown, which actually the interest rate is also quite low, which is 2. Look, where is eurozone? Germany, huge economy. Germany 2.2, low interest rate, low inflation. Whole euro area, they've got 2.2 inflation only. Spain 2.3 inflation. Greece 2.5. Okay, but where is the United Kingdom? There is no United Kingdom with low inflation. Look, whole European Union, it's only 2.7 inflation. Czech Republic 2.7 inflation, but they've got interest rate 3.75, even lower than the United Kingdom. And we've got United Kingdom 2.8. 2.8, you see, is very high inflation with quite high interest rate. There are countries with worse situation, but those countries are not actually depend on their currency as a reserve currency. Okay, this is problem that the British pound against euro is going down, the inflation is high, and interest rate is high, but it's not kicking off the British pound worth, and the inflation is not 0.8 like in France or 0.5 like in, I don't know, Switzerland or something. It's very difficult situation for the United Kingdom, of course. And so, well, compared to euro, we have findings that, first of all, interest rate in British pound higher, but so you would actually get more interest rate if you keeping the British pound in the bank, but people don't want to keep the money in the bank sometimes. So even the interest is high, the inflation is high, so it doesn't matter then. The pound is not growing with the interest rate. So, and the worth of the pound is very low. If we remember 1.8, 1.7, 1.6, and now it is 1.18, kicked with the high interest rate and pumped down with the very high inflation compared to France or other countries. It is very difficult for the British pound. So if we are comparing those two currencies, euro is beating the British pound on every aspect that we've been discussing now. So there is no one point the pound is better than euro. So pound is weaker, euro is stronger. That's it. These are only consideration. If I have missed something, if you are not agreeing with me, please discuss with me. I'm open for discussion. I'm open for honest discussion on good level, really civilized level. I don't discuss with. I discuss on a civilized way with civilized people on good level. Okay, so I am very open for discussion, so please give me comments and I will try to discuss with you, and maybe And maybe if that will be a good discussion, good point, I can cover this point in next movie without hesitations, if that will be good enough. And thank you. Please send it to your friends, to your mom, to your dad, so they understand the reality about finances. Thank you. See you soon.